Hello everybody, J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with some more The House in Fata Morgana. Last time we left off, we finally wrapped up the first chapter, which was the story of Mel and his sister Nellie. That obviously ended absolutely terribly. Mel kind of like... Well, he didn't go crazy, but the white-haired girl basically ran away after... I still can't tell if she just had her hair like cut off or if it was like a scalping thing. I would assume just cut off, considering I think she would have died if she was scalped. But yeah, anyways, so she ran off, Nellie went batshit crazy, and Mel was basically just stuck there, kind of in absolute and utter despair. So we've moved on to chapter 2 now. A bunch of years have passed, the house has been abandoned, and we have found a beast in the wine cellar. And some like merchant, I think it was, some traveling merchant came seeking refuge in our house after getting stuck or lost in the woods, and the beast has now killed him. And I believe that we are now moving into seeing what's going on with, I'm just gonna put a wild guess out there and saying seeing what's going on with the merchant's wife, because the merchant did mention that he had a special someone who rarely got to see him back home. So yeah, that should be very interesting. But before we jump into that, I do want to mention that a couple of our series are starting to come to a close now, namely Saint Maker, I want to say, as well as we actually just finished Cinderella Phenomenon last episode. And as I mentioned in that video, I don't think I'm going to continue doing anything with that series. But I do have a couple of series lined up to kind of take the place after we've finished a couple more of these. And I'm probably going to be scaling down the number of series I'm doing at once, just so there's less of less kind of stress on the workload. Just so I can kind of, focus on fewer things at once. Because I do feel like, you have to wait a whole week just for me to get out, a video on a certain series, and there's a whole bunch of other factors that I'm considering with this. But yeah, that's just kind of the general plan that I have for now. But without further ado, let's jump right on back into it. Inspect your memories. Pauline. Okay, here we go. What kind of voice are we gonna give her? Should I give her an accent? Nah, fuck it, we ball.
Alright, that does it for today's shopping. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, snack time. There's nothing better than having a ham sandwich in the park. Oh dear, maybe I should lower my voice when I'm talking to myself. But it's so nice out, I just can't help myself. Does the weather have anything to do with talking to oneself? Not important. Food, food. If he were here, it would taste even better. I wonder when I'll get to see him next.
So I was right.
Pauline! Pauline! There you are! Oh dear, what's got you so frazzled, Mom? Oh, Pauline. What is it? Did something happen? What's the matter, Mom? Mom? Pauline. This isn't like you, Mom. It's not like you at all. Tell me, what happened? I told you to stay away from men who trade. Huh? Oh, Pauline, my dear daughter. Why must God be so cruel to such a sweet girl? You're hurting me, Mom. Don't squeeze so tight. What's gotten into you? Listen carefully, Pauline. You must be calm and hear me out. Understood? Your lover, The beloved man you wait for is dead.
Damn. Oh, and we're back here. Alright. So we are now more so playing from the perspective of the black-haired maid.
The beast's humanity began slipping away from him after that encounter. He had returned to the thing I had found in the cellar. Actually, he prowled the mansion's halls looking more barbaric than ever. Despite all the effort he had put into learning to act like a human, he now ripped the velvet curtains off the wall, howling shrilly, stomping back and forth through the hallways and ravaging the garden. I watched him intently, though from a distance. Bestia was not merely a beast, but an out-of-control, bloodthirsty beast. Just a few days ago we had been tending the garden together, but that was no longer possible. I was quite disappointed. Eventually, Bestia discovered my hiding place. I had not felt regret in a very long time, but I felt deep regret in that moment.
More! Don't have enough. Not enough. I need more. I need more. I must satisfy these urges.
Are you saying peace was not enough to sate you? Did I mishear you when you asked for peace?
I was mistaken. Asking for peace won't solve anything. Blood, despair, eyes filled with terror. These are the things I need. And I've always known it. You said this mansion fulfills people's desires. Then, give me prey. No more hairs. Live humans.
Why did I ever teach him to speak human language? Before long, the mansion granted his wish. Once a week, a villager or a traveling merchant from somewhere would wander into the forest, ending up at the mansion on the cliff. Though something felt suspicious about the man who greeted them at the door, on the surface, he looked like a proper nobleman. So they all eventually chose to trust Bestia. The mansion had an air of loneliness about it, but it was adequate to provide rest for their weary feet. There was blood, there was food, and a bed, and most comforting of all, there were other people. The lord of the house treated the lost souls like esteemed guests. He poured them fine wine and had me cook for them. No one suspected in the slightest that he was a beast. He put on a reasonably convincing act, because yes, I had taught him how to behave like a master. The visitors all went to bed contented, but as I'm sure you can imagine, master, they would never see the light of day again. The penetratingly bright sunlight particular this area.
Who's this? A beast! It's a beast!
You disgusting creature.
You hideous monster!
Kill him!
If that's how you humans want to do things, then I'll play your little game. I'll play it even better than you. I'll kill you. I'll slaughter you. No, please don't! That's it. Cry for me. Beg for your life. Pray for my mercy. Weep and struggle and suffer and die. No one understands. No one can possibly understand my despair. What did I ever do? Was it just because I am a beast? When did I become a beast? Why do beasts have to die? Beasts are savage, and so they must die. I'm a beast, therefore I'm a savage. In which case, I'll kill them. I'll show them what makes a beast so terrifying.
Some Othello shit right there.
Moonlight crept through the torn velvet curtains, shining down upon the blood-soaked beast. It was a sight that would incite terror in anyone.
Look at this. No one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts. More. I need more. Give me more prey.
The mansion continued to sate the beast's demented craving, sending not one but multiple villages into his claws. Into these blood-stained walls, of which echoed his monstrous howls.
Stop, please! I'm begging you, spare me! Oh God! Sorry, I'm not familiar with your god. Beasts have no need of gods.
I have a wife and son back in the village. Please let me return to them.
Why don't you bring them back to me? I'll send them the same place you're going.
I am with child. Please let me go.
Are you now? In that case, I'll kill the baby first.
Jesus Christ.
You damned monster! That's right. I'm a monster. And by killing, no one can defy me. I have to show the world that beasts are the most frightening thing on this earth.
The beast began to change his style, making sick banquets out of his kills. Some days he would tie his guests up in the cellar, playing them with them for hours until they died. Some days he would drain them of their blood and bathe in it. Some days he would spread them out on the table and feast upon them. Every week, another atrocious party. He did everything imaginable. As a faithful servant of this house, I am confident I can do most anything I am asked. Though you can surely imagine my surprise at having to use the cooking skills I learned while serving the flaxen-haired family to do that. I can only wonder if it actually tasted any good. Bestia's peculiar sword is always with him for his twisted banquets of self-gratification. However much blood stained it, it never lost its sheen. It was as though the sword drank of the flesh of humans. Master, can you imagine just how wretched I felt? The mansion, once a beautiful sight to behold, reeked of death and acrimony. The stench of rotting flesh seeped up from the cellar. Even the years it spent forsaken and in ruins were preferable to that. Or perhaps I alone had myself to blame. It was I who had invited the beast into the mansion.
More, not enough. This isn't enough to satisfy me.
But Bestia still sought to hold more of his perverse parties. Lost villagers were no longer enough to quell his urges. He was indeed a genuine beast. And in time, this is what he began to wish for.
Can't you bring me any better prey? Something truly exquisite. The perfect prey to quench this maddening thirst of mine. Do you know...
Do you know what he meant when he asked for the perfect prey, Master? Perhaps a hero, someone courageous enough to stand up to him, with whom he could enjoy a battle to the death. Perhaps a dazzling young nymph to satisfy his primal urges. Or perhaps what he wanted was not human at all, but a demon or a phantom. I would soon find out, as the mansion attempted to grant his wish, bringing yet another guest to the house on the cliff.
And I think we all know who that's going to be. Oh my god. Is there redemption in the beast? Probably not.
If the devil guides us, if God guides us, then perhaps I could accept that this was fate. Then it makes sense that I am here. Is anyone there? I've lost my way. Would you please be so kind as to spare me a little food?
Ah, there. There it is. There comes the poor little offering. They never learn. They just keep coming again and again. The mansion keeps granting my wish. I would be glad to provide you some food, and you are welcome to stay the night, get some rest. I will have a room prepared.
Oh my god. No fucking way. Holy shit. What? I did not see this coming. Oh my god. She's back. And she's grown. Or maybe this is somebody completely different. It would have to be somebody completely, supposedly. I mean, it's not so much of a stretch to say that she might be immortal, considering you have the black-haired maid. Oh my god.
Then, I suppose I shall take you up on your generosity. I've been wandering for a very, very long time. What was that, Master? You recognize her? I imagine you would. That white hair, those red eyes, skin the color of freshly fallen snow, and that flawlessly beautiful visage. You could not possibly mistake her for anyone else. And no, it is not someone who happens to resemble her. I can understand why you would be surprised, Master. At first, I could hardly believe my own eyes. The wanderer knocking on the door that day was the very same fair-skinned young woman who visited the mansion so many years earlier.
Oh, so it actually is her.
The white-haired girl must have spent many, many a night in the forest. Her crystalline skin was covered in red scratches from where she had brushed against stray branches and tree bark. She had even lost her shoes and was standing there barefooted, looking quite disheartened. But that did not make her any less beautiful. In fact, you could just imagine the dense forest canopy parting to allow the sun to shine upon her. The beast appeared to be surprised by her angelic beauty as well. It seemed as though all the madness drained from him in that moment. He said nothing, but his eyes told all. He was entranced by the sight of her ruby-red irises and her pure white hair. Pardon?
I am a beast. This is what I asked for. Something to quench my thirst. You're allowed to be happy.
But as I said, it was only for a moment.
So rejoice. Imagine just how gratifying it would be to see such a beautiful woman writhing in the throes of death. Follow me. I will have a bath drawn as well.
And once that moment passed, the beast was barely able to contain the wellspring of madness within himself. He wanted nothing more than to run his sword through the white-haired girl that very instant, to torture her, to defile her. He tended to her wounds, served her supper, and drew a bath for her. And afterwards the beast even made to provide her with the dress to wear. Even the outfit she had only worn for one night so many years before was there, waiting for someone to put it on again, for her to put it on again. He said he said she could choose anything she liked. She, being such a modest young woman, said she needed not of such fine attire. And what a shame that was. I too wish to see her in a dress once more.
So I guess she's not aware that she was here all these years before?
I need not such fine clothing.
You needn't be modest.
No, that's not why.
Are they not to your liking then?
No, my apologies. You are very generous.
Foolish girl. Smiling and calling me generous. I was simply imagining what a pretty sight it would be. The sight of her fresh blood splattered on it. The sight of her life slipping away in it.
I am glad that after wandering for so long, I ended up here in this mansion.
And in a few hours, you'll be feeling the exact opposite. Get all the rest you need. I shall see you again in the morning.
Oops, I'm slipping into a British accent for him. No.
I thank you. Bestia then made his way out of the girl's bedchamber. His mask came crumbling off after only taking a few steps.
There, that's precisely what I wanted. Ha! Just imagining how such a beautiful woman would scream. How she'll beg for her life. Hey, are you there? The merchant has given me the perfect offering. Hey, is she not here?
Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant not like before, but I'm here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I've been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
Ooh, so she does seem to have some kind of recollection.
And I get the feeling that I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair? I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name? My name is... I see. So you are... Again. Again. You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also... Go on. Close your eyes. But Beastia never waited for morning to come. With his sword that smelled of blood hanging from his hip, the beast slowly, ever so slowly, crept toward the room where the white-haired girl slept. The time was soon approaching for the bloodthirsty beast to paint the walls with the young woman's blood, to turn her bedchamber into a gore-splattered altar upon which he would offer her to the devil. However, when he opened the door, the beast could hardly believe his eyes. She was not asleep, but sitting there as if expecting Bestia's arrival.
Why are you awake? Did you not go to sleep?
I heard footsteps, so I...
And what were you planning to do when I got here? Surely you didn't think we'd simply have a nice midnight chat.
I was hoping to ask what it was that you wanted.
To ask what it was I wanted? Do you even realize what you're saying? Can you not see what's in my hand? You know exactly what I came here to do. Aren't you going to beg? Aren't you going to plead for your life? Aren't you going to ask me not to kill you?
If it's necessary. But is that what you want?
What I want is something much, much more gratifying than your pleas. I want to hold a banquet. It's not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. But you will be enough to satisfy me, to quench this unholy thirst, to complete, wholly, fill me to the bursting point. You want to know what I desire? I desire to devour you.
Oh no!
Ah! Bestia shoved the girl back, slamming her into the mattress. He then stabbed his sword through the sheets beside her, looking down upon the girl, the moonlight at his back. Clenching her slender throat with one hand, he drew his sword once more, holding the tip but inches from her nose. No matter how much blood it drank, the sword continued to shine gloriously, as though it had just come from the forge. It was an awe-inspiring, tear-shedding blade, the sight of which could cause anyone to imagine the misfortune about to befall them.
Go on, mock me, ridicule the hideous barbaric beast standing in front of you. From the moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, no? But you averted your eyes, because I had food for you, because I gave you a place to rest. You pretended not to notice the beast. This is retribution. Retribution for you damned humans. So beg for your life like they all do. Cry. Plead for mercy.
If you say that you are ugly, then I must be equally ugly.
What?
What came from the girl's mouth was neither a plea, nor an insult, nor a scream. Full-grown men had wept before him, and yet this slight young woman did not. Despite this terrifying beast being upon her, moments away from extinguishing her life. Even I almost shrieked in fright. Bestia could hardly believe his eyes nor his ears.
Do you not fear me? Can you not see what I'm about to do to you?
What am I to be afraid of?
I'm threatening to murder you. To rip your intestines out with these claws and watch you die in agony. I enjoy it more than anything in the world. Filling others' hearts with fear. The more lives I take, the more I enjoy it. I'm a beast driven by madness.
What he expected was for the beautiful girl before him to desperately implore him for mercy. He wanted nothing more than to see despair seep into every corner of her red eyes. For he believed that it would be a truly sublime moment, euphoria unlike anything he had experienced before. Bestia prodded her with his singular sword, poking a slit in skin smoother than silk. You mean to take mercy on me because you see me as pitiful? But she did not do as the beast wished. She looked up at him with sympathy rather than fear. This rattled the beast. He had never once seen anyone respond to him that way.
What possessed you to say that? What on earth is going through your head? Mercy? Mercy? Do you not wish to comprehend the situation? How can you be so calm? Scream, cry and shout, beg for me to spare you. Throw yourself at my feet. Throw yourself away at my feet. Otherwise I'm a beast that never tires of killing.
To me, you appear to be a person.
You're lying.
You listen to the things I say, and you respond with your own words.
I was taught how to speak. I'm a beast who speaks human language.
But you think. You use your mind to come up with responses. And you hesitate.
If I'm human, then why do they disparage me so? Why do they reject me and try to kill me? Because I am a beast. A repulsive beast. That's why, isn't it?
I will do nothing to hurt you. We are alike.
Alike? Don't be ridiculous. How can you say we're alike when you're as beautiful as you are?
There is nothing beautiful about me. What value does outward appearance have?
You
have suffered much persecution, which is why you tremble in fear.
I am not trembling. I am not afraid.
I can hear the cries of your heart.
What on earth is wrong with you? Why are you not afraid? Why do you not scream in terror?
I am afraid, but more than fear, I feel like I know what my role is.
Your role?
If you'll have me, then I would like to remain here in the mansion.
Are you mad? I will eventually kill you, torture you, put you through hell, make you wish you were never born.
That does not change my mind. Please, allow me to stay. I find it very hard to believe that what you want deep down is to hurt people. And I get the feeling that I am meant to be here. That it is my role.
You...
Bestia was at a loss. He was perhaps afraid of this girl who did not fear him, and even attempted to embrace him. She behaved too differently from all the other humans he knew of, who only ever harassed and pushed him away.
Well, why are you so kind to me? To this beast, this murderer?
Bestia's sword slipped from his hand, hitting the hardwood floor with a metallic whine. When the sound died down, the white-haired girl extended her hands for the beast with the utmost of affability. Her fingers were white as freshly fallen snow, something this area never saw. They traced his distinctive frame. They ran along his unusually shaped nose. They slid across his rough, yellowed skin. They drifted around his rather small eyes. The beast trembled once more, this time not out of twisted desire from deep within, but from the unimaginable comfort of physical contact. Her fingers moved so gently, so pleasantly, wrapping him in their warmth. Are you crying? A single teardrop slid down from the arc of her finger. Looking into her clear eyes, Bestia came to a realization. And at the same time, he felt somewhat dismayed.
You are without sight.
Taken in the throes of his primal urges, the beast had not noticed, but there was an emptiness in the girl's eyes. She appeared to be gazing far into the distance, not focused on the man despite being close enough to touch him. Tears had begun to run down Bestia's cheeks earlier, when she had called him a person, but it was not until one of those droplets had slid across the back of her hand that she had realized it. She would, indeed, have no need of extravagant dresses. After all, she could not see what she was wearing. That is correct. I am blind. But whoever decided that reality is only...
Oh, fuck.
But whoever decided that reality is only that which can be seen. I know not what appearance I have. In the darkness, everything is as one. There is no difference between beast and man. If you are a beast, then I too must be a beast. To the girl, a beast would be paramount to eating sugar and insisting it was salt. Do pardon the trite analogy, please. But you know rather well, Master, that the white-haired girl was not at all what you would call a beast. Not simply in appearance, but all the way down to her core. There was nothing beastly about her. Her words brought him faint pain, but the beast still felt, on some level, that he wanted to keep her at his side, to see what would happen. His next words were in large part impulsive.
I am grateful that you cannot see.
Huh! So she's blind. I wonder if that's like... Well, because according to the black-haired maid, this is indeed the same girl. The same white-haired girl from all those years ago. But she's blind. So it kind of makes me wonder if they're going to explain, like, how that happened, or if it's just, like, a part of the mansion's will, I guess. Interesting.
Without exception, everyone who had wandered into the mansion had lost their lives before the sun rose the next morning. She was the first visitor who had not met this fate. Over time, Bestia's madness gradually subsided. He even began to seem rather tame. He would hardly believe it was the same beast who had once reveled in those perverse festivities. He was, I imagine, at a loss for how to behave. I too would be flustered in the constant presence of such beauty. But it was not just her appearance. She had said she wished to live with him, a beast who had committed countless atrocities. Perplexing indeed. What is the matter?
Do you honestly not fear me?
Do I appear to be afraid of you?
No, you do not. But you would. If you could see me, you would react the same as everyone else. You would mock me. You would despise me. You would want to kill me. You don't know what I've done, because you can't see. I enjoyed it. I basked in their terror. So why? Why do I not want you to find out? I don't want you to know how many people I've tortured, how many I've slaughtered, how much blood I've imbibed. All the horrible things I've done. Horrible? I'm aware that what I've done is wrong, but I relished in it. I wanted, for so long, to slaughter them. I desperately desired to see blood, human blood. What is it I crave? Murder or laughter? I said that I had no need for peace, yet here I am.
Is something the matter?
No, some tea.
Oh, shall I make some? Are you thirsty?
No, I made some tea. It's probably cold by now. I thought you might want some. You don't?
No, I'll take it.
What are you laughing for?
Because I'm happy.
Is it to your liking?
It's bitter. Their life together began quietly, their days without event. They had no extravagant meals. There were no swaths of guests lending life to the mansion's halls, but there was also no one screaming in fear for their life. It was the peaceful life Bestia had lost, and he had returned once more to that quiet realm. What's the matter?
You are always so quick to notice my presence.
My world is one of darkness, so I have a heightened sense of hearing.
What is it like? How do you perceive the world? I cannot imagine living in complete darkness.
Occasionally, I can see light.
Light?
Yes, not a radiant light like the sun, but a soft light floating in the darkness. Like a candlelight, I suppose.
That only perplexes me all the more. I find it difficult to understand what you're describing.
Is that so? It's difficult for me as well. I'm not sure how to explain it. But it's not like complete darkness. I can sense your presence, for instance, and I can tell how windy it is from the way the windows vibrate. And also...
Also?
I also feel as though I can sense the wavering of emotions. The candlelight begins to flicker erratically. From fear, intense sorrow, or other similar emotions.
My emotions?
I do not know. It could be yours, and it could be mine. This margin is a very peculiar place. The candlelight is always wavering, and yet it seems somehow stable. It makes me feel as though this is where I belong.
I don't think I understand. I am a beast, and so I lack the intelligence.
But you...
I'm going to go hunting. Is there anything you would like?
Whatever you like. Alright then. If you find any fruit, that would be nice.
Fruit?
Aha, it's sour. You picked it before it was ripe.
I did not know. Is it a bad thing? I don't know anything.
I cannot see, but if fruit is still green, you're not supposed to eat it yet. What color are these?
Green. No. Blue.
Shall I give you a hand in preparing supper?
I cannot ask for help of someone who can't see. You'll hurt yourself.
Don't worry. I can tell for the most part where things are by touch and sound. Are you worried?
Worried? Worried. Worried. The thought of blood dripping down my finger doesn't excite me. What's going on? What on earth has happened to me?
If I appear to be in any danger of harming myself, please let me know. Then you have nothing to worry about. You do not seem any more comfortable in the kitchen than me.
She always cooks the... Where did she go?
Huh?
She always comes when I call.
And so the black-haired maid has disappeared.
I had hidden myself away. Bestia had learned to go about his daily life without my assistance, and the two of them had no need of others in their peaceful world. Oh my, what is the matter, Master? I was not lonely at all, no. It was an absolute pleasure simply watching them. I mean that. It was not my role to be at his side, nor was I the one to be at hers. If she could make Bestia into the master of the house, then my presence was unnecessary. I appear when I am needed, as I appear to serve the flaxen-haired family, nothing more. If they sought a servant, then I would show myself. Yes, certainly. After some time, they began to sleep in the same bed. Oh dear, no, not for the reason you're imagining, Master. You thought no such thing. Though they slept in the same bed, they did not lay together. They did so, it seemed, because they were more comfortable in the same place. The two acted more like family than lovers.
Hey. Hello? Are you asleep?
No, I am awake.
Is the candlelight wavering?
Right now, it is very calm.
I see. Say, tell me more about your childhood.
What? Me?
Won't you?
My childhood?
Yes. I have no such stories to tell. When I was a child, I lost everything. My mother, father, brothers, everyone. So
For as long as I can remember, I did not have a father. I lived alone with my mother, but I never felt like that was a bad thing.
Was she kind?
Yes, very. She was a compassionate woman. But we were poor, and because I cannot see, my mother was the only one who could work. She would always be away for long stretches of time, supposedly because he served at a respectable house. I do not know whether or not that was true. Perhaps she was doing much more demanding work. I never asked. I believe not asking was best for her. From time to time I would receive letters from her. Someone who lived nearby read them to me. The letters went something like this. Life in the mountain is difficult, but everyone treats me so well and they say I do good work. I'll be back with more money soon, so you be a good girl. Other than that, she allegedly expressed concern for my health and safety, as well as repeatedly saying how much she loved me.
You have a good mother.
I did. Nearly everything I remember my mother saying to me was written in her letters. So much kindness and warmth.
Why do you not live with her now? How did you end up here in the mansion?
Before long, she lost her life at her place of employment, and I was sent the money she had earned. It was, I imagine, enough to survive on. When my mother was alive, she often lamented my blindness. If only you could see, she would say, I could show you just how extraordinary this world is. So I decided I would visit a renowned physician in order to fulfill my mother's dreams. A physician in this country. However, upon examining me, he said that he could not restore my sight. Dejected, I was on my way home when bandits attacked. They robbed me of my money I brought to pay for my treatment. I lost everything my mother saved for me, the money she gave her life to earn for me. I failed to repay her for anything she did, which cast a dark cloud over my heart. My world has always been wrapped in darkness, but at that moment, I was in the deepest abyss. There was not even a speck of light. I was at a complete loss. With nowhere to go, I simply wandered, no destination in mind. And that was when I miraculously arrived at this mansion. It was as if I had been summoned here.
You were being summoned by the mansion to fulfill my craving. But it didn't end up that way. I wonder if the mansion is disappointed. I see.
Excuse me.
I apologize for not having a brighter tale to tell. I imagine you were hoping to hear joyful childhood memories.
No. Did they hurt you?
Pardon?
The bandits. When they attacked, were you hurt?
You are so compassionate.
I am no such thing. I am not compassionate.
I was perfectly fine. I took a few scratches, but nothing you need to worry about.
I see.
I believe that I am happy now. I was unable to regain my sight, and I haven't the money to return home, but I believe I left in order to come here. Is your life, right now, happy?
I am terrified. Am volatile. Am growing accustomed to this woman's comfort. Am afraid of losing her. A beast should not have these feelings. A murderous beast. Take this.
What is...
It makes a good gift, supposedly. I was planning to throw it out when I learned that, but I couldn't. I felt like I was meant to give it to someone.
I'm guessing it was the rose.
That could only be you. It is a fake white rose.
A white rose accessory?
Do you not want it?
No, I do. I just... for some reason... Never mind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alright, I think this is a pretty decent spot to go ahead and end it off on. So let's go ahead and save here. Alright, back. System, return to entrance. Alright! Okay. So, once we finished up the first chapter, you know, obviously the white-haired girl is here in the menu. So I was kind of figuring, like, alright, she has to play some kind of bigger role than, you know, just being in the first chapter. But, yeah, I honestly was not expecting her to show up at this mansion. I really had kind of, like, put her in the back of my mind. I was honestly expecting the merchant's, I guess, fiance or whatever, or girlfriend, to be the one to show up in the mansion, but apparently not. But this does raise a bunch of questions. Because in the first chapter, the role that the White... Well, let's say this. As far as we understand, we're looking through the history of this mansion. The flaxen-haired family was living there, like, years before. Like, I think, like, 30 years or something before the events of this, of Chapter 2. So, and at the very least, they had been living there, like, enough time has passed for their whole family to have essentially been, like, I guess, brushed aside. Because the black-haired maid mentioned that over that time, they didn't produce any heirs, and so they kind of got lost to the march of time kind of deal. But what that also raises the question of in terms of the white-haired girl is, the white-haired girl's story in the first chapter was that her mother was a part of the flaxen-haired family, but her father was a poor painter, essentially. She was conceived between them. Her father was kicked out of the house, and she lived poor on the streets with her father, with her eyesight, mind you, went back to that mansion, was taken in supposedly by the mother, fell in love with her technical stepbrother, got humiliated and outed by her stepsister, and then ran away. But now in this one, her supposed childhood story, well, not only do we have to acknowledge the fact that she too, like the black-haired maid, has been alive this whole time, but supposedly we can infer that she'd been blind since she was born, or at least had gone blind when she was very young as a child, lived alone poor with her mother, who worked in a mansion, and is now come here after her mother had died and all the money was sent to her. So, yeah, I don't know. This is strange. And again, according to the black-haired maid, this is indeed the same white-haired girl. So I don't know if this is just like the mansion like working its magic and maybe replacing her memories, or if it has something to do with her as, you know, a character, whether it's something that just happens with her, that she's kind of connected with this mansion and is bound to return to it in each of these chapters, or what's going on there. But this is pretty interesting. So they're taking that kind of traditional route of, you know, oh, this horrid beast, but, you know, the sweet, beautiful young lady doesn't mind him being hideous and scary because she's blind, kind of thing. You know, it's one of those classic tropes, I guess. But again, like we kind of established in the first chapter, the inhabitants of the mansion are kind of fated to experience misfortune. So I guess we'll kind of see how that ends up working out for these two. But that's going to be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.